Welcome to the fourth class on the structure and details of the second Beis Hamikdash. So in this class we're going to talk about the entrances to the Azara. And there were 7 entrances to the Azara. There was 1 entrance to the east, 3 entrances to the north, and 3 entrances to the south. So let's go through each of these 7 entrances. So to the east we had Shar Nikanor, to the north Beis HaMikdash, Shar Karbanis, and Shar Nitzitz, and to the south Shar Hamayim, Shar HaBcheres, and Shar Hadelek. So we're going to start and talk a little bit about the Shar Nikanor. So the Shar Nikanor was the main entrance to the Azara, and they were the only doors. The doors to the Shar Nikanor were the only doors that were made of bronze because of a special story that happened with these doors, but nevertheless they shone like gold, like all the other doors that were made of gold. Then in the north we have the Beis HaMikdash. So the Beis HaMikdash is the most complicated of all of the entrances because it was an entire structure, and it's a discussion whether it was built entirely over here in the area of the Beis, or whether part of it was in the Azara and part in outside of the Azara in the Beis. But either way, half of it was considered Kodesh and half Chil. The inner part was considered Kodesh and the outer part Chil. And it was an entire structure like we'll see. So the following is a diagram of the Beis HaMikdash. So you can see it's an entire building, and within it there are 4 rooms. And we're going to go through these rooms. So in this corner over here, the southwestern corner, there was Lishkas Hatzlayim, where there were ready sheep for Karbanis, and there were never less than 6 sheep over here. Then in this corner we have the Lishkas Eise Lechem Aponim, where they would prepare and bake the Lechem Aponim. Here they had the stones. So this is where the stones of the Mizbeach that were defiled by the Yevanim were buried. And here there was a mikveh. So this is where there was a winding staircase leading to a mikveh, and any kohen that became tamei would descend and toivel himself in the mikveh, and then leave the Harabayas. And like we mentioned in an earlier class, that's when Shar Todi, the gate on the north side of the Harabayas, was used. And there was also a bathroom down in this room over here, by the winding staircase. And over here, there were beds extended from the walls where the Kohanim would sleep. So it seems like it was sort of bleachers coming down, and the Kohanim would sleep along these bleachers on each side. And then over here, there were doors. There was one door leading to the Harabayas and one door leading to the Azara. Now, regarding the door leading to the Azara, it had within it a smaller door. Like we mentioned, each of the doors was quite large, up to 3 stories high around. So within this big door, there was a smaller door, and this smaller door was used in the mornings by the Kohanim, the ones that would enter to inspect the Azara. And then once they were done inspecting it, they would close the smaller door and open the bigger door, and they would start the Avodah of the day. And the key for the door was placed under one of the tiles that a kohen slept on. So a kohen sleeping over here would be on top of one of the tiles. Apparently it's on one of these sides. He would sleep on the tile that had the key in it. Let's move along to the other doors. So here we have the Shar HaKarbanis. So this was the gate that was used through which Kachei Kedoshim were brought. And the reason is because the Kachei Kedoshim could only be shechted on the north side. So the gate was over here on the north side. Then we have the Shar HaNitzitz. This was not just a gate, but like the Beis HaMikdash, in a sense, it was an entire structure, and the Kohanim stood guard on top of it. Then here we have on the bottom, on the south, the Shar Hamayim. Shar Hamayim is the shar that the water that was used for Nisach HaMayim on Sukkot was brought in through that gate. Then we have the Shar HaBcheres. The Becheres were brought in through this gate, and the Shechita of the Becheres was also kosher on the south side of the Azara. So it could be brought in on this side as well, unlike the Kachei Kachim that were only able to be shechted on the north side. And then finally we have the Shar Hadelek, where the wood for the Mizbeach was brought in through. So the wood was being checked, we said earlier, in the Ezras Nashim. It was taken out apparently from the main entrance of the Ezras Nashim and then brought into the Azara through the Shar Hadelek. And with that, we'll end the fourth class.